Who's my neighbor in a hybrid society? Well, we have close neighbors. This is your friends, your family, people you see every day in your work life, your coworker at the next desk to you, if you have an office job. These are just people you see on an everyday basis that you say you know them very well and that you talk to them on a daily basis face to face. This is a research from Pew Internet back in 2009 of those who know their neighbors are more likely to have face-to-face talks about community issues. A lot of people don't talk about community issues, or if they do nowadays, it's all online. And not this hybrid world that we have. It's not done face-to-face back like it was in 2009 when the internet was still just kind of evolving where to it is now in the world, where you can now have a conversation in a second, and it can be with, I'm here in Minnesota, and someone can respond in California, in Texas, in New Hampshire. It doesn't matter where, you can have conversations with everyone, and it can be about a worldwide issue. But it's not face to face, so you're still getting all those extra perspectives from different people, but they're not in that community or they're not truly there. And as you see when you look at the ages, we have the 65 plus. Their numbers of knowing their neighbors is 52%, and talking face to face is 45%. Which I think the talking face to face 45% is probably a little low. I imagine that's actually higher than what it's saying. I think they had a lot of younger people in this survey probably, and that's not a lot of older people is what it seems like to me. But with 65, with that older generation of 65 plus, they didn't have the internet when they grew up. It came on, as they were retiring, or, they just don't know how to use the internet, and so they go talking face to face with people to get their conversations. They don't use the internet to message their friend or talk to them. They truly just either have a phone call and they say, hey, we need to catch up, and they go talk person with them. And as you slowly go down the age range, it's talking face to face when you get to those 18 to 29-year-olds. It's not a common occurrence, and even knowing their neighbors, they just don't know them. It's not a big deal as a young person not to know your neighbor to the left and the right of you, as it was in the older generation of knowing people. It's just not that important nowadays, apparently. And then we have your intermediate and far. For intermediate, we have people who you are friends with, but you don't see on a regular basis. So you keep up with them maybe on social media, or, it's that high school classmate that you don't see around very often. You don't connect with them, but maybe you see them filling up gas at the gas station, or you just, hear words from someone else, and that's how you kind of keep track with your friend's life, or they make a post now on social media, and you're able to kind of follow what they're up to in life. And then you have your far acquaintances. So these are people that you don't really talk to, but far can be basically anyone else in the world that you don't talk to on a normal basis. Intermediate and far can kind of go hand in hand in this. We have tools we use to communicate. The tools used to keep up with community issues vary based on who you know. So talking, mostly to your neighbors here, talking face to face, 70% of people, number of neighbors known by name was 70 people said all. 12% said none, which is crazy, I think. And this survey was also done in 2009 by Pew Research. Talking on the phone, exchanging emails, an email list with online forms, so that would be like Reddit, exchanging text messages among texters. I would imagine that is skyrocketed up with the world where it is now compared to back when the survey was done. To talk face to face in this hybrid community and society in the world, you need to be using those tools to talk to people. People are always evolving, always changing with the new, and so just using today's technology to communicate is necessary to get to certain people. Otherwise, they just never will see that you're trying to talk to them. Where is my neighbor? linked to our understanding and perceptions of boundaries, not only where we see those boundaries existing, but also how those boundaries came into existence. Page 90, this is from Network and Theology. Our understanding and perception of boundaries has changed over generations. Every generation is a little different. And we set boundaries. Boundaries change. So, back in the day when you would buy a house, people would come up and your neighbor from the left and right of you would come up to your door and knock and get to know you. And nowadays, when you move in somewhere or you buy that house, you might never get to meet your neighbor. They might never walk up to your house and ask you who you are or what you do for a living. Physical world example, a grocery store, your gas station, your waiter that's serving you, just people you see. Anyone in the real world, is technically your neighbor. You're there to support them. You can be there for them. We're all humans and we need to be there for everyone. A digital world, we have, that's you making a post. Anyone can share it. Anyone can see it. Even, you can set your privacy settings or whatever, so only your friends can see it, but your friends can share it to their friends. And so everything can kind of get back to you. And so, everyone can technically be your neighbor in the digital world because everyone can see the content that you post online with everything. And then this is a Bible verse from John 15:12-13. This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, that someone lay down his life for his friends. John 15:12-13. We need to love each other as neighbors. That's not something we do great as neighbors, I think, in today's world. I think the aspect of who your neighbor is in the online world has been broken, that connection, and so we need to just be better at that in today's world. Reference list, we have Network Theology, Negotiating Faith and Digital Culture by Heidi A. Campbell and Stephen Garner, Pew Research study, and the Bible Gateway for that Bible. And then these reference lists will also be linked down the bottom in the study, in the little section underneath the YouTube. Thank you for watching.